in Hayward's apartment.
Yeah, it's August 31st, 2004. I'm Jason, and I'm here with my grandfather and Manly Jensen,
Mutt.
Mutt Jensen. We're in his apartment in Hayward, Minnesota, and we're just gonna ask some questions and talk for a little bit. Let's see, when were you born?
November 7th, 1920.
Where
In
at?
Freeborn County, over by the Geneva Catholic, Nuri Catholic Church. No, cemetery.
Oh yeah.
At home?
I guess. Yeah, I'm sure.
Was it at, like where your mom and dad lived at the time? That's where you
Yeah,
were born?
yeah.
It's right at the home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That place is out there, no anymore. It's gone.
What's your earliest memory?
Oh, I suppose around 2, 3 years old. We moved to a different farm over by west of Corning there, and it was called a Pete Enstrud farm. And I can remember living there. We lived there for 3 years, so I'd be about probably 3.5 years when we moved off there, and I can remember the place.
Your parents farmers then?
Huh?
Your parents farm?
Parents, yeah, they farmed all their life, but partly, well, not all their life, till they retired, I guess.
How come they moved around so much? How come you lived
Never
so many...
bought a place, never bought a farm. You rent all the time, and then rent so long, and they'd probably sell it, or you'd have to move.
Probably from all those kids.
Huh?
Probably having all those kids, huh?
Yeah.
Getting kicked out?
No, it got kicked out. They just, somebody else would buy it, or relative would take it over.
Yeah.
We moved from that Pete Enstrud farm over to a little farm west of Moscow called the Philippines. It's way back in the field. We called it the Philippines. Lived there for a year, I think it was. And we moved just south of there, just west of Moscow, and called a Pete Lee farm. We lived there for about 3 years. Moved off there in 28, and we moved on a farm over by northwest of Nuri. Yeah, Nuri. I think we lived there a couple of years. The house burnt down there.
Oh yeah.
Burnt down on Valentine's Day.
What started the fire?
Well, we burnt wood, I suppose, a chimney fire or something. And we wasn't home. We were all in school, and nobody home when it caught fire.
So how'd you get to school back then?
Walked.
Oh yeah.
Walked, or sometimes we'd have a horse and buggy and take it up there.
Did you have a car back then?
Well, folks had an old car, yeah.
Old Ford?
Model T Ford. And they had, and I don't know what the hell they had. Model T, then they had a Chevy, I think an old Chevy, 27 Chevy probably. And then they got an old Essex. They made a Chevrolet Essex out of it. This Essex was a enclosed sedan.
Oh yeah.
The old Chevy was a touring, so they made one car out of the two, and so they'd have an enclosed car. The Chevrolet Essex, they called it.
I suppose that was nice in the wintertime when it
Yeah,
got awfully cold.
yeah.
So
Had some rough winters, I tell you.
I bet.
Depression, went through depression in 30s, up till about 36, I think.
Oh yeah. Did you guys? I suppose you still farming back then?
Oh yeah. Then we moved. Well, when the house burned down, then we moved up north of there, where we lived about a mile and a half probably, on an 80. We lived there for 5 years. That was called the old Fern place. lived there for 5 years, and then we moved east of there, just about a half a mile across the field to a bigger farm. And we lived there for 5 years. That's, well, about 38, and I left home. I went to work on a farm. I worked on a farm for the same guy for 5 years, so went into service in 42.
Oh, yeah?
When you left home, did that mean you lived with the farmer then?
Yeah, I stayed right there all the time.
So how old were you then when you left home?
About 18.
What made you join the military?
I was drafted.
Oh, were you drafted?
Yeah. Yeah, I drafted. Went in October 8th, 42. And got out in about November 45, I think.
And you went to basic in Texas, you think?
Yeah, I was in basic Abilene, Texas. For I think it was 3 months, and then we went from there to New Orleans for another, I don't know, probably 2.5, 3 months. Then we went from there to Camp Shanks, New York, where we shipped out.
New York.
Went across.
What'd you think about New Orleans back then? Remember any of it?
Oh yeah, it's a nice place. We went down Frenchtown.
Oh, yeah?
Lost my billfold, of course. So
Somebody pickpocketed
nobody
you?
ever found it again. Well, I don't know if somebody picked it or I lost it.
Huh. Was it pretty wild back then?
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Well, how was New Orleans compared to Minnesota back then?
Oh, I don't know. We never got out of camp that often.
Oh.
We went up town probably 2 or 3 times while we was there. It was a nice town.
Then you went to New York from there?
Yeah, then we went to New York. We didn't get uptown. We just was in a camp where you get ready to ship out. We was there for about 4 or 5 days. And then they loaded us on a ferry, loaded us out to the big boat. Went off to Africa.
Whereabouts?
Landed in Orlando, Africa.
How long was that boat ride?
14 days.
Ooh. I bet that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big boat, too.
What'd you do on the boat for 14 days?
Nothing. Just sat around.
Watching the water?
Yeah, I'd walk in the water. Watch and look out and watch. So I'd see sharks and whales.
Did that?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Went through the rock of Gibraltar, we went by there. We stopped there. They had to do some fixing on the boat, I think. I don't know what it was. We was there for, I don't know, a day and a half, 2 days. Then we were left. See, we went over a big convoy, big convoy. And they all kept going, and our boat was left alone.
Huh.
It was kind of scary, because you don't know, it might get bombed or something.
Yeah.
Just had a couple of destroyers with us.
They let you off the boat in the Gibraltar?
No, we never got to shore.
You never got to shore? They have your own room there, or they have you all in the big rooms together? In the boat?
On the boat?
Yeah.
We had a bunch of cots down below, all over the place.
Oh, yeah?
Bunks.
So when you landed in Africa...
Yeah, we're in Africa. And well, we never got to town there either. We never got out of camp. Camped up on a rock hill there, sand hill. And we lived there for a month, I think, waiting for orders. And they loaded us in boxcars and sent us down to Bizerti.
Bizerti, where's that?
It's way down in it's in Africa.
It's in Africa,
Yeah,
too?
North Africa.
Oh.
Down on the Port Bizerti. We set up a hospital there. We was there for, I don't know, 8, 9 months, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe not that long. Then we went from there to Italy.
Italy? How'd you like Italy?
Good, yeah, it was nice. Nice town.
How'd you get from there to Italy?
On boat, we went on, I went on the advance party. We had a little, I don't know what they call them, LCIs or something, one very big. And that was on there for 48 hours from Missouri to Italy.
Wow.
And everybody on the boat was sick. It was the roughest sea they'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was bad.
Mm. So it wasn't a very big boat then?
No, just a little kind of a landing boat, or what do they call them? I don't know. Advanced landing. Little boat.
Hmm.
At least. I was in Italy for another, I don't know, 7, 8 months, I suppose. I don't know. Then we went to France on a big boat.
Where'd you land in France?
In Cannes, I think, on the Riviera.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And we stationed right up above the Riviera till the war ended. In Germany, Europe war.
Right.
Then we waited. We were supposed to go to Japan then, getting ready to go to Japan. Then all of a sudden it was over. So then we come home. Another boat. We were only 9 days coming back on a boat.
So the eight months you spent in Italy, were you able to get off the base at all, or were you?
Oh yeah, we was right in town actually.
Oh, yeah?
A little town called Maddaloni.
Oh, yeah.
And France, we got down on the Riviera a few times.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
You gotta have a story or two about that.
There wasn't much story to tell there. Going and find a little bar.
Yeah, just to get out.
We didn't go down there that much.
And what? You said you were there with the hospital there?
Yeah, we had a big hospital there.
What was your job in the military?
I was a dental technician.
Oh. You didn't decide to go into dentistry when you got back?
No, I didn't.
Had enough of that?
Yeah. One of the guys kept it up, I guess.
So when you left Italy, you said you were waiting to go to Japan.
No, I left France. We got
Or from France, that's right.
France. We quit the hospital and was just sitting in a camp. We just figured we'd ship to Japan. Get ready for that. But we lucked out. They surrendered before we got to go.
Then they put you back on a boat, I guess?
And then we got on the boat, left Marseille, France, on the boat. Landed in Boston this time. Took about 9 days that time, I think.
I thought you said you saw your first bikini in...
Huh?
Where'd you see your first
Well, that was at the Riviera, yeah.
French Riviera.
First bikini, yeah. Well, that was exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So you came into Boston Harbor? then?
Yeah, that's where we landed coming back.
Then did you get to come home then?
Well, yeah, we come back to, they load us on train and we come back to Camp McCoy.
Okay.
Where,
Wisconsin?
I suppose, I don't know, it was probably a day or so before we left Boston, and then, I don't know, day and a half, I don't know, in McCoy. Get out.
Then you went straight from there back to Minnesota?
Yeah. Come back and started farming with my brother.
How many brothers did you have?
6.
6 brothers?
6 brothers and 5 sisters.
Wow.
12 of us.
That's quite the family.
Yeah.
But you're happy to be back. I bet they were happy to see you.
Oh, well, I was glad to get back. I didn't do nothing but celebrate for 6 months.
So did you get letters from home when you were over there? Did they?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of letters.
Did you? From all your brothers and sisters and
Oh,
mom and dad?
A lot of people wrote, yeah.
So you got a lot of mail. So
Oh, yeah.
were you homesick when you were
Not
over
really,
there? Or
not really.
coming from a big family, you think being that far away, you would have got pretty lonesome. I suppose
I
you were so
used to
busy.
being away from home.
Were you the only brother to go to the World War II?
No. Well, when I got back, then Sylvester, my brother, when I got killed in Korea, he went to the service in 1950, I think it was. Well, you would know, you were born there.
But I think he died in 51.
Yeah, he got killed over there in 51.
He joined or was he drafted? Was he drafted? Or did he join?
No, he joined.
He joined?
Volunteered, yep. Volunteered, what he called it. And Dickie too, I think
He was in the Navy.
he went to Navy, he volunteered, you know, I mean, enlisted.
Yeah.
And Elton and Donnie were both in for it. They wasn't in very long. I don't know, they got out. They didn't like it, I guess, they got out.
Dickie go to Korean War too?
Yeah, he was in the Korean War. On a ship. I guess they fired from the ships, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
I remember seeing pictures of his big ship that Dickie was on.
Oh yeah. So did you get your first car before you went to war or when you got back?
Oh no, I had it before I went to service.
Remember what your first car?
My first one was a Model A coupe. I think Lal, my brother, had it first, and I got it from him. And then he bought a 34 Ford Roadster, and I bought that from him. And I sold that before I left. For $50, I got $50 for it when I left. You probably get 50,000 for it now.
Yeah, 34 Ford Roadster. It's worth a lot of money now.
So did you have a girlfriend before you went over that wrote to you?
Not a steady. Just,
Did she write to you?
I had someone wrote to me.
So when you got back, you spent about 6 months celebrating.
Yeah. And I took out a loan and started farming with Brother Lau. Farmed for about, about 4 years, and I quit and went into construction.
Where were you living, or who were you living with then? Did you live with Lel and Arya?
Oh, yeah.
Were they married by then?
Oh, yeah, they were married in 1940. They got married.
Oh, so when you got back from the service, you moved in with your brother?
Yeah.
And then, when was it that you met Grandma?
Oh, I met her in Bigsby. Oh, I suppose in 37, I guess. Then we got married in, no, not 47.
Yeah.
47?
We got married in 48.
How'd you meet her?
For a dance?
Well, I just went to the Bigsby dance, and she was there with her folks. Don, I guess, was there. I think he was. We got to dancing, and one thing led to another.
Was it love at first sight?
Oh, not really. Well, I think the first time I met her was in the Austin Hospital, now that I remember. Chester, you know, remember Chester?
I do.
He was in there with a broken back, and his lady friend come up there to see him, and Tilly was with him. With her. That's the first time I met her. That's the first time I kind of met her.
Oh, yeah?
So Mom was friends with Chester's girl. Mom was friends with Chester's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Not the one he married. Not it.
No.
Agnes?
Not Agnes. This was. What the hell with her? I don't make it different.
Yeah.
He was going with her in there.
So that's where you met Mom in the hospital when she was visiting?
Yeah, they come in to see Chester, and I was up there visiting Chester. Chester was the guy I worked for on the farm for 5 years.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Then the next time I seen her was in Bixby, I guess.
How long after you met did you guys get married?
Oh, about a year, I suppose. Or no, maybe not that long. I don't know. We got married in 48.
Where'd you move to then?
Well, we still lived in the same with my brother and his wife
Did you?
until we quit farming, and then we built a shack out there on my folks' place. Lived there till from about 50 to 62. Yeah. Then we rented that little place by Moscow.
So when you lived there is when you had your first daughter, which is my mom.
Yeah. 1950.
1950. That was when we lived in that little shack.
That was just a one room then.
The first, yeah, then we built on to it. Then it got too crowded. We got 5 kids, it got too crowded, so we had to buy this big house.
So then Grandpa and Grandma must have owned that house then? They bought that house?
When I lived in,
No.
oh, where they lived, yeah, they owned.
So they weren't renting that, they bought that?
Oh, yeah, they owned that.
So they finally bought a house?
Yeah,
Was that the only one they ever bought?
yeah.
Because I was just thinking they would have had to buy it for you to build onto their land.
Yeah, they bought that.
So when you moved to the house in Moscow, is that the first indoor plumbing and?
Yeah, yeah. We had electricity where we, in the little house.
You didn't have any heater or anything?
Oh, yeah.
In that little house?
Yeah.
Well, we had a fuel stove.
Yeah.
A little fuel stove. And we moved in that one in Moscow. That was a wood furnace in the basement. For about 8-9 years, then we put in a fuel furnace.
Well, wasn't it coal? Did you heat coal too with it?
Oh yeah, we used wood and coal.
Wood and coal.
Whatever.
Just remember you shoveling coal in there.
Yeah.
Sure was cold at night when it wasn't stoked up.
Well, didn't get up to keep it going. Get cool.
So when was your first telephone? Yeah, was that the
Oh,
old?
when we moved in that place.
Oh, so the Moscow was the first.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a bird clock. So you started in construction. How old were you when you went into? You were working construction when I was born, weren't you?
Yeah, I started construction about 1950. I was in construction for 33 years.
So where'd you start out? Because did you work with Johnny Williamson?
Johnny, yeah, well, way at Batten, but that was construction.
They had their own construction business, and you started.
At Baston's, he was block layer, laid block, and I worked with him and learned how to lay block. Then I went to work with with Johnny Williamson for a while. That was the block laying.
What'd you do in the construction?
I was a cement finisher. I was a laborer that done a lot of cement finishing, let's put it that way. A lot of cement work.
Hard labor.
Yep.
And then you got into Austin with Wagner's and Joseph.
Well,
Or when did you get in with that?
I worked for different ones before. I worked, first when I went into Austin, I worked for Borgerson.
Oh, that's right.
I worked for them till I got in that accident, busted my arm up, and then I was laid off for over a couple of years.
How'd you get in that accident again? That was a car accident, right?
Yeah, the guy was driving, sideswiped the light post, and I had my arm out the window and smashed between the car and the light post. He almost took that arm off. A couple of doctors worked all night on it.
That right in Austin or Moscow area?
No, the accident happened right south of Corning.
Yeah.
And they hauled me into Austin Hospital.
That's when you were still living at the little house.
Yeah.
So you got
That happened in 56.
56? So when you got in the accident, where you said it was pinned to your arm between the car and the tree? Or the
The
pole?
light post. He went down this side, swiped the big light post, and I was sitting, it was an old car, and you could have your arm out the window.
Was there drinking involved?
Let's not talk about that. I imagine there was, yeah.
So were you stuck in the car, or were you able to get out? Were you stuck in the car, or were you able to get out?
No, we got out. See, his wife was following us. He was supposed to be sober to drive, you know. And she took us into the hospital.
Would you go to Austin's hospital?
Yeah. I was there for, how was it, 12 days, I think.
And then how did you get to the cities? What you up to?
With my arm?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't heal, wasn't healing, so that I had to have bone grafts, so that's when I went up to vets.
That's for the VA hospital up in the cities that you...
Yeah, the old vets hospital. They put bone graft. I was up there for 30 days.
I remember it was a long time.
Yeah.
So they end up putting pins inside your arm then too?
Oh yeah, they had a big pin down through here and one up here. Where the hell, can you ever see that pin?
I think I did. It was like a foot long, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
it? All the way down the
I think
length
it's
of
in
your
that
arm?
drawer there.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it's fun when they took it out, I tell you.
Ooh. Yeah,
Still
I
a
bet.
little plate in here, yeah. See, that had a screws in it. It was screwed into that pin. And that doctor, he got a hold of it, it was sticking out. That's why they took it out.
Started
And
working
he
at school.
pounded on that thing,
Oh.
getting it out. They had me doped up, but it wasn't working too good.
Oh, I bet not.
That hurt. They got it out.
Jeez.
So you out of work 2 years with that?
Huh?
You were out of work for 2 years?
Oh yeah, I think it was over 2 years. It didn't want to heal up, and they had to put bone graft in it.
But you don't have arthritis in it now, do you? You think something
No.
like that, you would have got arthritis in it, but you don't have arthritis at all, I don't think.
Yeah, you can see that.
I can see the scars and stuff.
I was telling Charity I had scars like her too.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got that
There, one up here.
like a 5-inch scar in your bicep and scar under your arm. And you have most of your movement though.
Well, I just got to straighten it all the way out, but otherwise it don't bother me.
Oh, you're lucky they didn't take it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said they almost did. It is really crushed.
Where'd you get your tattoo at?
County Fair. And it's about, well, that's about it. I was about 18.
Did you?
Jeff and Stanley got one just like them. They got, well, Jeff's is the same thing. This is the same as mine, too.
Oh, it's your initials?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Manly,
Stanley, he got one.
MWJ, Manly
50
Wallace.
cents. 50 cents for that. That was probably $50.
Yeah.
So we had to have one.
I didn't realize Jeff's was the same initials, but his is Milo Walter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's MWJ.
Stanley got one like it, only it's different initials.
Yeah.
Stanley Jacobson.
Yeah. You didn't, that's the only tattoo you got?
Yep.
You didn't get any more in the service?
Nope. You?
Oh, I have one and I got in the service.
Did you? You got one?
Yeah.
Is that where you met Stanley Jacobson in the service?
Huh?
Did you meet Stanley Jacobson in the service?
No, I didn't meet him in there.
You met him before?
Oh yeah, I knew him long before.
Did you?
Knew him as just young kids.
So you stayed friends all these years?
Yeah.
Because he was your best man, wasn't he?
No. Oh yeah, yeah.
Wasn't Stanley and his wife
Yeah.
Gloria? They were
Yeah.
your best
Yeah, we
man?
married in Grand Meadow.
We still see
Oh,
them
yeah,
today.
Wow.
They've remained friends all these years.
We jumped around together some before one service. He was drafted before I was.
So you went in 1950. Was that the year you got married? 1950?
1948.
48? Yeah, you just got married, and then today you have how many kids and grandkids?
Well, I got
Oh, he had
7. I had 8.
Your
Sandra
last
died
son,
in
huh?
74, wasn't it? Yeah. Johnny 74, and I've kind of lost track how many counts.
How many grandkids and great-grandkids
Yeah.
he's got now?
You count them up,
I don't know.
I think there's probably
I lost
20
count all.
grandkids and probably around 8 great-grandkids.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't keep track either.
So how'd you pick going to Grand Meadow to get married?
Well, she was Catholic, Mom was Catholic,
Yeah.
and the priest was from there, and used to hold their services in Brownsville. That's where they went to church. I told him I wasn't going to change churches, but I'd get married by the priest.
Because you're Lutheran.
Huh?
Because you're Lutheran and Mom was Catholic.
Yeah.
And you're not going to change,
I
so
wasn't
I had
gonna
to
change.
change.
So we went there, and took about 5 minutes, and was married.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
Well, kind of wasn't much. Went to, well, Leonard, Doty's first wife, husband, lived down by Spring Valley. So we went down there for 2 or 3 days, partied and had a good time down there. They lived on a farm down there.
Oh, yeah?
That was the extent of the honeymoon. Then we put on a dance in Bixby, the wedding dance.
Pick the coldest month of the year to get married,
Yeah.
February.
So you're 100% Dane?
Yep.
So both your
And then her mom was full-blooded Bohemian.
yeah.
So she's half-breed.
So do you remember which relative came over to the States from Denmark? Was it your grandparents?
Well,
or?
my dad's mother, well, mother and father both come from Denmark.
Was Grandpa and Grandma, your mom and dad, were they born in the States then?
My folks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Where were they born at?
Well, Mom was born in Geneva.
Oh, was she?
But I don't know. I don't know just where Howard was
Born.
I can't remember now. Lel probably remember that. It was in the United States, of course, in Minnesota.
Yeah. I guess I forgot.
The only state they ever lived in, Minnesota.
So your mom and dad were first generation U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
Both of their parents came over from Denmark?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Ma's mother. I think my mom's dad come from Denmark. But I don't think her mom mother was.
Huh.
He left when they were all just little kids, I guess. My mom's dad.
Oh, yeah?
He left one day and never come back. They
Really?
figured he went back to Denmark. I don't know. He never did.
He just left?
I never did see him, or nobody ever seen him.
Huh. That's strange. That'd have been, what, back in the 30s then?
Oh, that'd be back in the
Way before that.
20s, I suppose.
He was born in the 20s.
Oh.
My mom was born in what? 1899. Dad was born in 1896.
So, how again did the Nelsons get mixed up with the I know that your mom's maiden name was Nelson, but on Grandpa's side, how did the Nelsons get in, like Lyle Nelson and stuff? How did the Nelsons
Well,
get in with the Jensens?
Well, that's a mixed up thing. There's my dad's mother divorced.
Yeah.
My dad's dad. And then this old Pete Nelson, he had 3 kids. I don't know if I had them here. He must have come from Denmark, but he must have got divorced when he got over here or something. I don't know. But then he married my dad's mother. That was a Nelson. And dad was a Jensen. And then they had another bunch between them they had 4 more Nelsons.
Yeah.
And then they brought a Thompson over. Well, when Grandma come over, she had a kid she brought over from Denmark. That was Thompson. He was called Thompson. So it was Thompson, Jensen, and Nelson all in one
All in one family.
Huh.
I didn't think divorce was that common back then.
Oh, everything was just as common then as it is now. They kept it more quiet. My grandma lived with my mom's mom lived with an old guy in Geneva for a long time. They never married, so they lived together then too, you know. He was supposed to be her housekeeper, you know, but they lived together.
So southern Minnesota changed much over the years?
Not really. Well, I suppose it has, but Minnesota has changed?
Yeah.
Well, it's
More cities. The bigger cities?
Uh,
More bigger cities?
well, I suppose.
More people,
Yeah.
technology.
Oh, yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of changes, of course.
So did you like working in construction? Did you like doing that
Oh,
stuff?
I liked it, but it was hard work, but I liked it.
Funny how you don't have back problems from bending over all the time with that.
Yeah.
You don't seem to have any back problems.
No,
Isn't that strange? Although, because
Yeah.
he'd always be bending, scraping.
oh, yeah, I've done a lot of lifting and stuff.
You don't have
Jackhammering.
you don't have arthritis or anything for all that stuff?
No.
Yeah. Not yet, anyway.
You're what, 85 now?
No.
No, I'm 83. I'll be 84 in
84.
November.
They're pretty healthy old fart, you know that?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't for that cancer that I've had.
Yeah.
I've had that, you know. But
Taking a lot out of you.
if it hadn't been for that, I'd probably lived to be 110.
Well, you still might.
You still might.
Yeah, then I'll say I could have lived to be 120 if I
If you
hadn't
didn't
had
have
that damn cancer.
Well, you've had that now, what?
10 years I've had it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it 4 different times. Now I'm got to find out if I got it again.
Oh, did you?
Week from today.
Yeah.
Appointment.
7th, you get a biopsy on that.
Yeah.
Sore in your mouth.
And you started with the cancer in the mouth, right?
Yeah. It's in a tonsil.
And
I
you,
went up VA and took chemo, had radiation. Then it was good for 5 years. Didn't have it, and then all of a sudden I come back again. That was in the mouth too.
I noticed you quit chewing right about the time you got cancer.
Huh?
I noticed you quit chewing about the time you got cancer.
Yeah. I quit chewing.
You chewed for how many years?
Oh, I started when I was 5 years old. Didn't chew steady, but you know, sneak a chew once in a while.
Yeah.
Then I kind of quit it and started smoking when I got older. And I smoked. Well, over 40 years since I quit smoking.
Oh, yeah? So what'd you think about the Minneapolis chemotherapy sessions up there?
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
They're good people up there?
Oh, that's a wonderful hospital. If it wouldn't have been so damn hard to get over to the van, you know, I'd have still been up there.
Now you're going to Austin over here?
Uberley, and then Rochester. Some.
Through the mail system.
Oh. Oh.
So you used to work construction with Elvin and Dickie.
Yeah.
Did you work there before Elvin, or did you
No,
get him on?
no, he was there before I was. He was working for them Borgersons that I went to work for.
Elvin is his cousin.
You remember?
I remember
Alvin?
Oh, yeah. He had the green van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Ed. Yeah. You wasn't too old then, because he's been gone for 20 years. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid out there on the farm. That's been quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do you want to talk about?
I can't talk about a thing. I don't know anything else.
So what's the story about when you lost your hat?
Huh?
When you lost your hat?
Well, that's when I was on our honeymoon down there by Harmony with Dorothy Leonard. It was in the spring, you know. The river was up. We were standing on a bridge. We didn't come along, my hat flew off into the river, but down the river. You know, Janice's dad brought me a hat one day. He says, I found your hat down in the river. That was, I don't know how many years afterwards.
Didn't something happen when I was born too? Didn't you lose your shoes or
Oh, well, my shoes, somebody took them. I was sleeping in the car and up there at the Lark with Chester. Had that Lark at that time. I I was sleeping in the car, and one of the Mexican friends that lived there close by took him and put him up in a tree. I didn't find him for, I don't know how long afterwards. Finally found him.
Little celebrating then too? Were you celebrating then?
Well, yeah, we celebrate your birth. We had to celebrate that.
So you got that John Deere tractor when you got back from the war?
Yeah, that's when I bought 37B John Deere, started farming.
You had that up until 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's 6, 7 years ago, I guess. There's one sitting just like it on the way, if you go on the old highway, just east of the Oakland Corners on the 46. There's one sitting there just like it on the north side of the road.
Oh yeah?
I just wonder if it could be the same one.
Well, who did you sell it to? Remember?
Roger. Oh, Kraus. Roger Kraus. He lived down south of Oakland.
Well, it could be the same one then.
Huh?
It could be the same one.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. It looks like it's got them same steel wheels on it. Someday I might stop in and ask him.
1937 John Deere, and it still runs today.
Yeah, well.
It's a John Deere.
So what did you used to do for fun when you were young? What did you used to do for fun when you were young?
Go to dances. You go to dances every, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Bixby's, South Hall, or Turp, Monterey, Oasis, Rainbow. They had places to go then. Now, you know, they don't, young people don't have a place to go.
Yeah.
When did you start playing the harmonica?
Oh, when I was probably 7, 8 years old, I suppose.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
So when you, like your brothers and sisters, they played guitars and sing, when did you do that when you were young? Just kind of sit around and play music together?
Dad could play the fiddle, you know.
Your dad played the fiddle?
Oh, yeah, he's a good fiddle player. He used to play at house parties.
Yeah.
Dickie played the guitar, and
Yeah.
Jeff played accordions. But all I played was a motorgun.
Oh, that's funny. And the girls used to sing and stuff. So you guys did you used to do that a lot? Just kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
sit around
Get
and
together.
sing and play music together?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of music did you play back then?
Old time music.
It's old time now. It wasn't
Yeah,
old
back
time.
then it was hip hop.
Yeah. Old time waltzes, two steps and all that stuff, you know.
Oh,
At house parties. Go to house parties. Have neighborhoods get together and have a dance. And kind of change off on Saturday nights, have a party. That's actually where I learned to dance, an old house party. I wasn't too old then.
So you always rented that house out in Moscow?
Huh?
The house that was out in Moscow? You always rented that?
Yeah.
You never
I
bought
rented
that?
for 41 years.
Did they ever raise the rent on you?
Oh, yeah, when I first started, I paid $30 a month. Then when they changed, Olsen took over, I don't know, when did they take over there? Then they raised it to 40, and for a while, then they went up to 50. 50 is the most ever paid. That's why you couldn't afford to own a place. You get rent that cheap.
Yeah. Olsen's took over before I was born, wasn't it? In early 70s?
Yeah, they've been there for, I suppose, 28, 30 years, I think. Let's see, can't remember. Matt was born after they moved on there, wasn't he?
He's saying he just christened Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember
Yeah.
back in the Prohibition days?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody drank back then?
Oh, yeah. Like moonshine.
Did you used to make
Dad used to make moonshine.
Old white-
Homebrew.
White Lightning?
Yeah. Homebrew.
You had a still and everything like the
Yeah, they had
pictures of
the
stills?
copper tubing had her down in the basement making old home brew.
Oh yeah?
I mean, alcohol,
Yeah.
moonshine.
Moonshine. Did you ever sell it back then?
Oh yeah, he'd sell it. Uncle Benny, he would take it out and sell it for him. They had to bottle it and sold it half a pint or pints. They didn't get rich, but back then they didn't have much money. A dollar was a lot of money.
Yeah.
He used to store it. Dad used to store it for bootleggers there for. He got $50 a month for storing it down in the basement. That's when we lived up in that old urn farm. That wasn't long. Somebody tipped off the fence, so they had to come out and take it all out, got it out of there before they got caught, you know. And then they didn't have it anymore. But that's we got a lot of booze to drink there.
You had to get rid of the evidence? You had to get rid of the evidence?
Oh, if we had any leaky cans around, we kept them.
So do you remember the guys coming over to the house back then?
Oh, well. Yeah, I was probably 12, 14 years old. That was in the early 30s.
They pretty.
One time they come in there with an old, I don't know what kind of car, big sedan, like a station wagon nowadays, but it's different. And look in there, they had to hide it out in back of the granary, and look in there, there was machine guns laying in there, guns.
Oh yeah?
Oh, they were ready to shoot their way through, and they got other bootleggers would catch them on the road and, you know, steal their alcohol if they could.
Really?
So a lot of times they had to fight the way out. But they had a big still up west of Blooming. Great big, where they made moonshine. They had tunnels in and out of there.
Really?
That was a
Wow.
big operation back then. They finally got shut down. Of course, then prohibition come. I mean, went off. I
Yeah.
think prohibition went off in '32, I think. And they started to have saloons again.
Yeah. They said they had to hide their car back in your farm?
Yeah. Suppose they were being chased somewhere and they hid it back there.
Huh. You guys survived through the Depression pretty well?
Oh, we got there, but it was tough going, you know. Didn't have much.
Eat what you made, I guess?
Huh?
You just eat whatever you grew
Oh,
yourself?
yeah. We raised most of your food. But all you ever got was maybe some flour and sugar and salt, you know. Raise your own meat and stuff.
You have to eat a lot of the same things over and over again?
Oh, we had a variety, you know. Big gardens, raised vegetables, can a lot of corn and stuff like that.
Probably canned everything.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have no deep freezing on, you had to can everything.
Because you couldn't get much fuel or anything back then?
Mostly burnt wood back then.
All wood?
You didn't have chainsaws either.
A lot of hand chops.
The crosscuts. And then, of course, you might have a mounted circle saw. You have a gasoline engine on it, or a tractor or something. Saw the wood up.
Hard working days back then.
Yeah.
You didn't just go to Walmart and get some wood?
Huh?
You didn't just go down to Walmart?
There wasn't no Walmarts then. Or you'd probably go into town and get a little coal, you know, if you had enough money in the wintertime. Team of horses on a sled, go in and get a little coal.
Did you raise your own cows and chickens?
Oh yeah, raised everything.
So how, in the town, did you have to go into the town to get your meats and stuff?
Oh, we made them.
Well, we raised most of them meat. You didn't buy a lot of meat. Once in a while you'd buy something, you know.
How'd you keep things cool back then in the summertime?
Well, you put it in a big crock jar and salt it down. salt it, or you put it in fruit jars and can it, you know. And well, like instead of a refrigerator, you probably had a cooler tank out in the side where you put your milk, when you milk cows, you know, you had cans in there. You put your stuff in there too. Put it in a jar and float it on the water. It wasn't easy.
That's interesting.
Made you tough, though.
Huh?
It made you tough.
Oh, yeah.
So did you watch the convention last night?
The what?
Convention?
No, I didn't watch. What the hell did I watch? Wasn't a hell of a lot on to watch, actually. I don't remember what I watched.
Did you get much into politics growing up?
Hmm?
Did you get much into politics?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't bother me much. I don't have much to do with that.
Let's see.
Probably vote, but I don't really know who the hell to vote for.
What do you think about what's going on in Iraq and Afghanistan and?
Yeah. I think they should take all the American soldiers out of there and let them guys kill themselves. They'll never finish it because they've been fighting all their lives over there, and it'll never end.
So if there's one piece of advice you could give to your great-grandchildren and grandchildren 10, 15, 20 years from now, what would it be? I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah, you got me on the spot. I don't know what I'd tell them. Just, I don't know. Just live the best they can, I guess. Take it one day at a time.
Don't work too hard.
Don't work too hard. Get a good job. You don't work too hard. Yeah, I have much advice.
All right, that's pretty good advice. Anything else you want to say before I shut it off?
No. What should I say?
I don't know. Anything you want to say?
Well, it was nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.